So then today, I don't know if you heard this, but on KNBR, Matt Miyoko was on, and he said that he spoke with Frank Gore yesterday, and that Frank Gore went on and on about how good Sam Darnold is, and even as much to say, you guys are going to be surprised by what he does. And so he was like really endorsing Sam Darnold. Let me have you finish this sentence. If Sam Darnold starts multiple games for the 49ers, blank.
I think they'll be fine. That would just kind of be my response. I think that I'm kind of in line with what Frank Gore is saying. I obviously didn't get to see him up close in New York the way that Frank did when they were teammates, but the guy has arm talent. He has traits that you like. He has things that stand out. And he also has a lot of games in the NFL where he didn't look very great, but how much of that is, on him versus the environment, we'll find out when he's playing in what's arguably the most conducive environment for quarterbacks in the league. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that they'll be fine. I think they could win games, Mark, with any of the three they have. The roster's so good. They just need a guy who's not going to come in and completely mess things up. And I think that right now they have three guys who are more than capable of just kind of steering the car and keeping it on the road, right? Like let's say they're on a long road trip, right? You're driving on a long road. You just need to keep the car in cruise control and keep it from veering off to the side of the road. Yeah. I think all three quarterbacks are more than capable for doing that. And I apologize if that's a poor analogy, but that's kind of, that's where I'm at with it, where it's like, I don't think any of the three are going to have to be this like transcendent talent that's throwing for 300 yards a week and has to put the offense on their backs. They have all pro caliber talent at every single skill position. Mm-hmm. They have one of the brightest offensive minds we've seen in the NFL, arguably ever, in Kyle Shanahan. They just need somebody that's going to come in and execute within the structure of the offense, make plays when they need to. But the frequency when we're talking about needing to is going to be far less for this 49ers team compared to other teams, because you have the luxury of checking down to Christian McCaffrey and watching him make 4 or 5 guys miss for a big gain. You have the luxury of throwing a quick slant to Deebo Samuel and watching him plow over defenders at the second level. So I think if Sam Darnold starts, they'll be fine. I think that if that's really the route that this goes down, it will have meant that he earned it. He earned the respect of his coaches and his teammates in training camp. And again, I'm with Frank Gore, where I think that I'm not saying that I think Sam Darnold's going to be the guy, and I'm not saying that he's going to be this like incredible talent, but people talk about the guy like he's some cast off that doesn't belong in the NFL. And I'm like, man, the tape that I've seen says otherwise. Maybe it's just a matter of him not having the stability and the benefit of having the weapons that you have in, San Francisco with the 49ers. So I'm really intrigued to see how it plays out, but it doesn't surprise me at all to hear Frank Gore say that, because I think that he has gotten kind of an ill reception, if that's the terminology that fits. Just people are kind of, I think, way too quick to be like, oh, Sam Darnold sucks, he's not that good. Yeah. And then we might start hearing reports out of training camp. We see some preseason games where we're like, oh, wow, this guy kind of had, like, I don't know if you remember that Jets game the Niners won in 2020. I think it was week 2. The game was well out of hand at that point, but I remember he made a throw at the end of that game where I was left for like 2 or 3 hours after, like, how the heck did he do that? Like he has these moments in him where you really see the greatness that would have led to a team taking him as high as he was taken in his draft in 2018. Is
that the one he was rolling to his left?
Yes.
Yeah. That was an impressive. He is a talented kid, and he had Adam Gase as one of his coaches. So that nobody's going to succeed in that. Peyton Manning did, but Adam Gase wasn't Peyton Manning's offensive coordinator. Peyton Manning was his own offensive coordinator.